Yay! Hello,
What's up?
Ridhya.
What's up? Hi, Sumit. How is it going?
Awesome there. Excited to do our first investing episode together.
Nice.
For
So,
people who don't know, yeah, just want to tell them that me and Rohit Bhaiya go back, what about more than
almost
10
10
years?
years. Almost 10
Almost
years.
as, almost 10 years now. And
Yeah.
more than anything, we have been work buddies and friends, but more than anything, we are investment buddies. So
Yeah.
we keep coming back to each other for advice. तो हम लोग
Yeah.
सोच रहे थे कि since all of this material is on WhatsApp, इसको पॉडकास्ट में डाला जाए. you
Yeah.
know let other people also listen to what shit we talk about.
Yeah. So, as Sumit mentioned, that we were work buddies for like almost 5 to 6 years, and then even during that time and after that, we've been investing together, sharing ideas, and investing in a lot of similar things and also slightly different things. So sometimes I have this inner thing to go for a little more riskier bets than Suman. But since the
Little
last,
more, little more.
yeah, yeah. But since the last few years, I think Sumit has kind of nicely invested in US stocks, which have done better because he was picking up safer companies to invest in, which I did not really think they would give this kind of a run up, but that they have, like, kudos to Sumit.
Yeah, thank you भैया. But you have gotten me. आप मेरे को लेके आए थे investment world में. I still remember. Although the start was from crypto, but we then moved to uh, safer investments. But
Yeah,
anyways, yeah, cool.
yeah,
Start करते हैं.
yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's start.
Also, so I guess first thing on the charter is that so this channel is going to be almost always about US stocks mostly because me and Rohit, both of us feel that best opportunities lie there. And Rohit, I just want you to go first on what are some important things. Why do you think कि अगले 5 साल में at least,
Yeah.
right? Why do you think कि your stocks will outperform, for example?
So I'll start with a small thing that I saw in my IND Money portfolio for US
Hmm.
stocks. So I invest in US stocks through IND Money, and just a few days back I saw an XIRR figure. I
Hmm.
started investing via IND Money in US stocks around 3 to 4 years back, and my
Right.
XIRR there was around 88%. So I was shocked, to be honest. I did not realize that, okay, I invested that well in US stocks. But the problem is that they suddenly decided to remove that feature. And the next time I opened to see that, okay, how has it moved? I could not find that feature. I even contacted their customer care.
Right.
They told me that they're still working on something, so they have taken that feature offline for now. So yeah, apart from that, yeah, like, that being said, these returns were much better than what I had invested in the Indian markets. So even in Indian markets, I have invested in pre-IPOs as well, but even those have not been able to beat my returns in US stocks.
तो I agree. ये I think मेरा भी personal experience बहुत similar रहा है. I've been obviously investing in both Indian and US stocks, but last 3 सालों में मैंने almost अपना सारा portfolio US stocks में move कर दिया for a simple reason because मेरे लिए बहुत difficult हो रहा था Indian companies को judge करना. Right? And most of it, trust me, most of the bets that I took in Indian companies were speculation, complete speculation. रेलवे में कुछ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट आ रहा है, इसमें पैसा लगा दो. आई हैड नो क्लू उनके बुक्स में क्या है, क्या कॉन्ट्रैक्ट चल रहा है. मेरे को किसी ने बोला एंड आई जस्ट चेक द ग्राफ एंड लाइक ठीक है यार लगा दो. एंड द good part of it was that I think during the bull run I was able to catch some of the gains as well, but I had realized कि यार ये ज्यादा दिन तक चलने वाला नहीं है because similar चीज मेरे साथ क्रिप्टो में हो चुकी थी. राइट, when there's a bull run सब सोचते हैं कि भाई मैं तो मतलब मेरे से जीनियस इंसान कोई है ही नहीं. And then you immediately realize in the bear run that it was all luck.
Yeah, pure luck.
So coming back to basic principles of investing, I realized कि यार जो companies के products में use कर रहा हूँ and I feel जिसमें better growth margin है, fortunately or unfortunately, most of us are using those FANG companies, right? मतलब Netflix सब use कर रहे हैं, Facebook सब use कर रहे हैं, Google सब use कर रहे हैं. So,
Apple.
why not invest in those? Apple सब use कर रहे हैं. So it should not be, I think कि, हमको इंडिया में ज्यादा पैसा लगाना चाहिए and all that. It's all about कि as an investor, it's all about कि यार मेरे को बेहतर रिटर्न कहाँ मिलेगा मेरे पैसे का.
Correct.
Right. And I personally feel that's in US. I know you feel that too.
Yeah.
So that's what this challenge is going to be about. And it's going to be more, of deeper discussions about companies, why we feel very strongly about those companies. And obviously, it will not be an investment advice. It's just a community of people just, discussing an hypothesis. कि यार मेरे को ये अच्छा लग रहा है for these reasons. Right? That's all. So yeah. So we can get started with the first pick.
और थोड़ा सा और मैं इसके बारे में बात करता हूँ. तो एक और चीज़ है कि AI पे जो एक्चुअल सबसे मेजर इनोवेशंस हो रही हैं, all those are happening mostly in the US, because
100%.
in India the IT companies are mostly service based companies. So everything, ChatGPT, Claude,
Right.
Gemini, all the AI tools that we use, Cursor, almost all of them are US based.
Correct.
So I think the major innovation and उसका जो major investment में returns मिलेगा वो US में invest करके मिल सकता है. Like putting the love for the nation aside, हमको ये करना पड़ेगा because if you're an investor, your end goal is to make money. I obviously love my country. I do have quite a few investments in my country also, which is India. But as an investor, I will look for the best returns for my money. So,
100%. This AI point is 100% true. Yeah. Sorry, you were saying something.
Yeah, and obviously, वो जब मैं profits realize करूँगा, that again I'll bring back to India, so that shouldn't be a concern.
Exactly. Yeah, and the other point I think इसमें under the radar जो point है that people don't realize is that obviously because of how global economy works is that generally अभी तक तो ऐसा trend रहा है कि INR depreciates against USD. Yeah. Right, so that's another advantage of investing in US stocks कि आप जो percentage gain हो, right, you can't just compare कि यार यहाँ पे 20% है 20% तो मेरे को यहाँ पे भी मिल रहा है, right, you are also getting that appreciation in terms of USD versus INR. So that's another factor. And but apart from all of this, I think if you want to really capture the AI boom, I think US stocks are the place to be. As simple as that right now. Above all, hypothesis is this hypothesis. So मैं तो completely agree करता हूँ.
Yeah, plus the Trump effect, अभी Trump का bill आया था. He calls it the big beautiful bill. So what it is basically doing is it is adding $4 trillion to their economy as a debt over the next 10 years. Yeah. तो अगर एक pool है और वो pool of money बड़ा हो रहा है, so all the assets will, by default increase in value.
Yes.
So the total money supply will increase by a lot, and every asset which is limited in number would increase. Those, be it stocks or limited items like gold, limited resources like gold, or even Bitcoin or crypto. Not all crypto, but yeah, Bitcoin for sure.
100%. Totally agreed. And apart from the bill, दूसरा जो सबसे बड़ा macroeconomic reason is that if we realize after 2021, what has happened in all countries, almost all countries, is that the interest rates have increased, have really gone high, right? And what we have seen for the last 1 year at least is that interest rates have been cut. And in US, especially the Fed has started cutting rates. I think they've roughly, I'm not sure about the numbers, but I think they've come back from 5.5 to about 4.25 right now, something like that.
4.25 to 4.5%.
Right. And abhi yahan se, I think the only way to go is go down, right? Unless inflation resurfaces, which is highly unlikely. I think yahan se sirf niche jayega, and generally the trend that we have seen is ki jab bhi interest rate katta hai, the stock market again booms. Yeah. So there's a lot of value to be captured overall, basically. Right? Obviously, interest rates US में cut होंगे तो India में भी cut होंगे. So that point is true for the Indian stock also. But I just feel, amongst comparing everything, I feel there's a better investment, better money to be made in US stocks.
इसका एक छोटा सा क्विक एक्सप्लेनेशन मैं दे देता हूँ फॉर दोज ऑफ यू हु माइट नॉट बी अवेयर ऑफ दिस कॉन्सेप्ट और आर नॉट फुली श्योर अबाउट इट. So when this interest rate the in the US, Fed is the one which decides the interest rate. So
Like
basically,
RBI.
yeah, like RBI in India. And when they reduce the interest rate, what happens is it becomes easier for corporations to take money on debt. Whenever they do that, most probably, like the most probable outcome becomes that they do much better in terms of numbers, in terms of growth, and like the money flow in the economy increases a lot. So generally, stock market also booms, also because a lot of new money also starts coming in the stock market when the interest rate goes down. So yeah, and also one more thing I wanted to mention. So in India there are like 2-3 kind of easier options to invest in the US stocks. तो एक है IND money जो मैं यूज करता हूँ, एक है Vested जो मैं पहले यूज करता था, and there's one more which is Fi app or Fi Money I think. So these three are the apps that I've used or I've heard of, using which we can invest easily in US stocks through India.
Yeah, agreed. I use in money mostly now. I started with Vested, but don't like their UI much. But yeah, in money is what I use. I think if all of these apps can just solve a big problem, honestly, of कि यार पैसे अगर ट्रांसफर करे तो भाई जल्दी से रिफ्लेक्ट हो. Obviously, it's not as easy as said, but I think that's a big thing apart from anything. But they've relatively made it way easier. So yeah, awesome.
Cool. Yeah, I
Cool.
think Sumit, you can start off with the stocks then.
Yes, let's do that. Let's come to the main part. I think my first pick for today is Netflix. सबसे पहले तो अगेन मैं ये पॉइंट रखना चाहूंगा नेटफ्लिक्स के लिए इज दैट ऑल ऑफ अस हैव सीन कि लास्ट 2-3 इयर्स में ओटीटी कैसे इवॉल्व किया है, राइट? एंड आई फील that it has, for most of the people, it has been a loss-making business, right? We have seen Disney struggle with it. We have seen other people selling their content for a pay-per-view model, जैसे Peacock हो गया, और I don't know, Universal हो गया, for example, etc. So Warner Brother हो गया and stuff like that. Out of all of these players, I feel Netflix, first of all, has been able to do it profitably and has been able to do it at a much bigger scale as well, right? That's point number one. Second is that in terms of streaming, right, across all devices, I would just want to share a very recent report. So you guys can see this. Key report is, so basically Nielsen is a data analytics company. They do their own large scale surveys and they figure out, what's the market share of different year. But the point to note here is that the biggest streaming giant is YouTube. ये थोड़ा सा YouTube को जनरली हम लोग OTT कैटेगरी में नहीं काउंट करते, बट एक्चुअली इफ यू सी they are taking market share away from all of these people.
Yeah, for sure.
And second highest is Netflix, right? And this percentage gap is also huge, right? Like obviously assuming since Disney is there, been there for I think 100 years or less, but Netflix and YouTube are really killing it. So I think that's one of the major pointers here.
I'm also guessing that YouTube and Netflix were probably the first ones to start streaming kind of services in their own ways, like for movies and for videos.
Yes, absolutely. So these are the first 2 points, right? Like in terms of market share, I think these guys are killing it. And basically anecdotal, but I think Netflix अभी बहुत important हो गया, especially for the new generation, right? Like for example, how Swiggy and Zomato has become वो रोटी कपड़ा मकान से आगे अब इंटरनेट उसमें ऐड हो गया है, स्विगी ऐड हो गया है और नेटफ्लिक्स ऐड हो गया है कि यार सारे सब्सक्रिप्शन कैंसिल कर दूंगा. नेटफ्लिक्स कैंसिल करने के पहले लोग सोचते हैं, राइट? And one point that I've not noted down in my notes is that Netflix actually 2022 में या उसके आसपास, I think the biggest change that they had done from a tech perspective is that password sharing पे उन्होंने बहुत बड़ा crackdown किया था, right? Which was a big problem in especially Asian countries. Like no comment on all of us, मैंने password sharing किया, but that was a huge barrier for their revenue growth. And अब उन्होंने वो figure out कर लिया, right? Like people must have seen कि अगर आप multiple devices में run करोगे तो it blocks you from doing that.
खुद का ही ब्लॉक कर देता है खुद का
Exactly.
ही होते हैं
आपको बोलना है दोस्त को कि भाई लॉग आउट कर ताकि मैं यहाँ पे देख पाऊँ.
और वो
तो
लगा दिया कहीं जाते हैं तो उधर लॉग इन किया तो कि 3 दिन का गेस्ट पास टाइप उसके बाद
yes,
अपने आप लॉग आउट हो जाएगा.
so this has all helped in their subscription revenue basically.
For sure, I'm sure.
Yeah, and just want to show some charts here. So the most important thing that I wanted to showcase is कि revenue इनका कितनी तेजी से बढ़ रहा है. One second, why is it not working? Total revenues, yes. Right, so you can see consistently the company has been growing revenues, right? The hidden, I think, metric here that I think beats almost everybody else and which is really good for YouTube and Netflix is the ad revenue. So most of people don't know this, but Netflix is very recently, I think maybe it has been 1 or 2 years that they have been extensively investing in ads. So they have consistently grown their ad revenue to a great year. And I feel that is one of the major factors for why I think the company, will be able to grow much more from here. Because see, when you're investing, आपका सबसे बड़ा thesis ये है कि कंपनी तो अच्छी है, but उसके ऊपर और क्या ऐसा कर सकती है कंपनी, right? What are the levers that the company can pull ताकि वो और ज्यादा ग्रो करे. तो वो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट है और वो आई फील फॉर नेटफ्लिक्स is majorly 3 important things. Ad revenue, I think they have still not scaled it up completely. That's one. 2 is they have started investing into games. अगर आप फोन में नेटफ्लिक्स ऑपरेट करते हो, you would have seen those games, right? And they started making money out of those games as well. Third is that they have started investing into live events. And in India, we might not realize that, but in US, this is a big thing. कि अगर आपको NFL देखना है और पहले obviously traditional TVs पे channels वगैरह पे ये सब होता था. Now they are bringing those things here, and that leads to acquisition of new customer pockets, right? बहुत लोग जो हाँ sorry
वो लाइव इवेंट्स स्ट्रीम कर रहे हैं नेटफ्लिक्स पे. ओके,
यस, लाइव इवेंट्स. जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मान लीजिए इंडिया के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में, अभी इंडिया में है नहीं, बट लेट्स से कोई फॉर एग्जांपल वी आर ऑल क्रेजी अबाउट क्रिकेट, राइट? नाउ इमेजिन cricket was a big source of customer acquisition for Hotstar.
True.
Right? It's a similar thing that Netflix is trying to do in US right now.
Okay, I had no idea.
With live events, actually, Apple TV has also started doing it very recently with, I think, local कुछ उनका है football का, some event. They started taking that as well.
Crazy.
So I think basically these 3 levers are the levers that I think Netflix is really pulling hard on, and I think they'll be able to grow their stuff much more from here.
CAGR was showing as 14.54%. That's crazy.
Yeah, like when you're again investing in especially such big companies, right? You would want to see how effectively are they able to execute, right? It's not always about कि यार आप कितना भी पैसा इन्वेस्ट करके आप लेट्स से फॉर एग्जांपल कोई भी बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट एग्जीक्यूट कर सकते हो, बट हाउ इफेक्टिवली एंड हाउ प्रॉफिटेबली कैन यू डू दैट. एंड द अदर गुड थिंग दैट नेटफ्लिक्स हैज शोन इज दे हैव इंप्रूव्ड देयर ऑपरेटिंग मार्जिन्स. सो लेट मी जस्ट ब्रिंग बैक. सो ये मैंने एक्चुअली परप्लेक्सिटी को बोला था करने, थैंक्स टू एयरटेल. वी ऑल हैव परप्लेक्सिटी प्रो for free. Awesome, for a year. So basically, as you can see here, Netflix has really ramped up their operating margins.
That's crazy. Couldn't
Right,
be
it is-
because of recently they had taken such a decision, right? That they'd reduce their spending on producing
Yes.
new shows. Okay.
That also, I think they've not reduced it, but since their revenues have been growing, they have kept their expenses constant.
Okay.
And that's one big reason and obviously one thing we all know is that all of these companies have been now very careful about hiring.
Yeah.
They are not hiring as aggressively जितना ये लोग पहले करते थे.
Yeah.
So all of that I think has led to operational efficiency, and we can see that in the chart, right? And Based on some reports that I have seen, people say that they can even push harder on these margins.
It's
So
crazy.
that's the major hypothesis that I have. So they can not only grow, but they can grow profitably,
Nice.
right? At that scale. That's the bigger part of the hypothesis.
And I'm guessing they would be also starting to use AI in producing these videos or movies and stuff.
100%. Yeah, I'm sure probably they are already doing it in some or the other ways.
So
मतलब मेरे पास
yeah.
data नहीं है, but I'm sure कि
I'll tell a fun fact. I just saw this today morning. So Eros India, they re-released Ranjana recently in cinema halls.
yeah, I have been yeah.
They changed the ending. They made a happier ending using AI. And director or actors, they were very unhappy about this. They are even
Yeah.
planning to take legal action against the producers. So it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't understand this stance that artists generally have. And I'm also from a design background, so I definitely respect that. But I don't think कि, and I've seen these posts also कि कुछ AI में अगर हो रहा है and कुछ कंपनी अगर कुछ कर रही है तो people are opposing that and saying that's not real art and stuff like that. But I feel कि आप रोक नहीं सकते हो उसको. वो आज नहीं तो कल होगा ही. The only thing you can do is whether you have to decide कि आपको किस साइड पे रहना है. आपको उस साइड पे रहना है जो अपोज कर रहा है, और ये हर बार होता है, राइट? लाइक व्हेन ह्यूमैनिटी मूव फ्रॉम हॉर्सेस टू कार्ट्स, तब भी ये हुआ था. व्हेन वी मूव फ्रॉम कार्ट्स टू ऑटोमोबाइल्स, तब भी ये हुआ था. Will always happen, just to be on the right side of the history.
Yeah, you leverage it to improve your work. That's all you can do.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, that's the hypothesis of Netflix. Bhaiya. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the numbers look good. I actually did not realize कि वो इतना rise कर रहा है. Personally, fun fact, मैं Netflix जब लेता हूँ तो most of the times I end up cancelling after 1 month क्योंकि I like
Intermittently लेते हो?
हाँ, intermittently, and हम लोग ने टीवी नहीं लिया हुआ, so मतलब वो मतलब easily नहीं, we don't end up watching movies so easily because of that, which I wanted to do like purposely.
Right. So. No, that's a good thing actually. I mean, I feel ki there's a lot of brain rot content also, to be honest, of Netflix pe. But as an investor, I mean, yeah, it's a great thing to
For sure.
be. I mean, so that's the hypothesis on Netflix. My second pick is Google, right? And I think लोग जब सुनेंगे लगेगा कि यार ये सब तो मेरे को सबको पता है यार, गूगल, नेटफ्लिक्स. बट आई एम गिविंग यू हाइपोथेसिस ऑफ why, if you haven't bought these, why you should buy right now. जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल नेटफ्लिक्स, जैसे मैं अपने एक दोस्त से बात कर रहा था, लाइक यार $1200 का स्टॉक है यार, $1200 का स्टॉक कौन लेता है? लाइक दैट डजंट मैटर कि स्टॉक कितने का है. एंड द गुड थिंग इज कि यूएस में यू कैन बाय फ्रैक्शनल शेयर्स, राइट? तो आपको पूरा शेयर खरीदने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. मैं $2000 का भी नेटफ्लिक्स ले सकता हूँ, राइट? सो द पॉइंट आई फील इज कि irrespective of the price, we should judge the stock basis की उसका ग्रोथ पोटेंशियल क्या है. अगर मेरे ये $1200 महंगा स्टॉक भी अगर 30% से ग्रो कर सकता है या 50% से ग्रो कर सकता है, तो why not? Why that might be a better stock than a stock that's worth $10.
For sure.
So this thought process of, and I think they're going to do a stock split very soon, जिससे कि फिर वो कम हो जाएगा तो लोगों को लगेगा कि अरे ये सस्ता है. तो द प्राइस ऑफ द स्टॉक इटसेल्फ डज नॉट मैटर. व्हाट मैटर्स इट इज इन रिस्पेक्ट विद कितना मार्केट कैप है उसका.
आई थिंक इस चीज को मैं हाईलाइट करने के लिए जल्दी से एक चार्ट दिखा देता हूँ मेटा का.
या
सो वी ऑल नो मेटा, फेसबुक, राइट? या सो इफ यू सी मेटा, द चार्ट फॉर मेटा, November 4th 2022, it was below $100. Now look at the price. 7x.
$70. Yes.
7x in less than 2 years for a mega cap stock. It is insane.
Yes. Most people actually don't know this. आपको पता है? लोगों को ये पता नहीं है. आप अगर बोलोगे कि एक साल, अगर आपने 1.5 साल पहले मेटा लिया होता और आपका 7 गुना हो जाता पैसे, लोग, people just don't trust this information. Because we have been told कि भाई आपको अगर 15% साल का मिल रहा है तो you have made more than enough,
वही
right? And
right.
then and obviously मतलब the fact is कि ठीक है ऐसे बहुत कम बारी होता है, but जब होता है तो you have to capture these moments,
True,
right?
true. Yeah.
Because obviously wealth is not being made by those 10-15% CAGR, to be honest, in my opinion.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I mean, and वही मतलब the price of the stock itself does not matter, right? Like Amazon, I think 1-1.5 साल पहले $2,000 का था, तो Google का भी कुछ वैसा ही था. These guys do stock splits and bring that number down. But anyways, so yeah, coming back to Google, yeah, what I was going to say is that ये बहुत कॉमन नेम्स लग रहे हैं. माई हाइपोथेसिस इज बेस्ड ऑन कि जस्ट बिकॉज कॉमन है डज नॉट मेक देम बैड. As Rohit just showed us, right? Meta, again, another common name, give you a 7 times return in over 2 years, right? So, why take more risk into a small cap company जब आपको इतनी बड़ी कंपनी, इतनी सेफ कंपनी, 7 times return दे सकती है. Obviously, at that time, Meta के कुछ problems चल रहे थे. That's why the stock had fallen, and it was not such an obvious choice. But anyways, so coming back to Google, Google के लिए सबसे बड़ा. So the first thing that I want to say is गूगल का 50% रेवेन्यू अभी आता है उनके सर्च से, राइट? फॉर पीपल हु डोंट नो, इसकी जब भी आप कुछ सर्च करते हो तो आपको एड्स दिखते होंगे. व्हेन यू क्लिक ऑन दैट एड, दैट बिजनेस हैज टू पे गूगल अ सर्टेन अमाउंट, राइट? एंड दैट्स हाउ मेजरली गूगल मेक्स मनी. फॉर पास्ट number of years, Google has been majorly making money from search ads. Actually, that was, I think, about 60-70% of their revenue 5 साल पहले या उससे भी पहले. And they've considerably grown their other businesses. अभी वो 50% पे, right? और अगर वो 50% is still a good chunk, right?
Yeah.
तो सबसे बड़ा fear Google के अराउंड क्या है कि अब जब से चैट जीपीटी आ गया है, जब से परप्लेक्सिटी आ गया है, हम सब उस पर सर्च कर रहे हैं, तो गूगल पे तो कोई सर्च कर नहीं रहा है. गूगल पे अगर कोई सर्च नहीं कर रहा है तो गूगल एड से पैसा कैसे कमा रही है? और गूगल अगर एड से पैसा नहीं कमा रही है तो व्हाई विल आई इन्वेस्ट इन अ कंपनी व्हिच इज गोना गेट डूम्ड? The answer to that is कि ये सब एनेक्डोटल डेटा है. मैं और आप और बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो चैट जीपीटी पे कर रहे हैं. बट द पॉइंट इज कि स्टिल बिलियंस ऑफ पीपल search on Google first, right? And it is shown in the data. So Google in the recent earnings report showed that their search revenue grew 10% year on year.
Crazy. Even after AI.
So it's actually growing. So if you ask जो लोग ये बोल रहे हैं, अगर आप उनको बोलो कि क्या आप मुझे कोई ऐसा डेटा दिखा सकते हैं which shows the decline, they don't have anything. Because it's all anecdotal. It's like कि यार लेकिन मैं तो चैट जीपीटी यूज कर रहा हूँ. हाँ भाई, लेकिन तुम्हारा रेवेन्यू नहीं मिल रहा है. मे बी तुम पहले एड्स में भी नहीं क्लिक कर रहे थे, राइट? सो इट्स नॉट us. And I feel, honestly, I think Google has already launched AI mode in search now. So it's exactly the LLM way of searching things. उन्होंने सर्च में इम्बेड कर दिया. सुंदर पिचाई said that they've started introducing ads as well, and they've seen कि उसका effectiveness कम नहीं हुआ है.
Okay, so like how does that work? क्योंकि I was about to ask this कि AI mode में मैंने उतना यूज किया नहीं है, but like how do ads work in that? Is it the same way side में दिखाएगा results and like they will be sponsored?
So they have done some trials. I think वो अभी भी large scale deployment उन्होंने नहीं किया है, is what I have heard from interviews. I think they have done a certain percentage of people in USA only. They've tested with that and they feel that the effectiveness is again quoting Sundar Pichai, is as good as जो उनके पहले वाले सर्च में था. How are they exactly embedding it is yet to be seen. I think that will get unfolded थोड़े टाइम में. But I feel if any company can figure this out, I think Google is definitely going to be one of those, right? And because they already have the distribution, right? Like I think AI में बहुत बड़ा play distribution का होने वाला है कि Chrome is already installed in almost all laptops non Apple. All Android phones have Chrome. Search there is by default. Search is our default, by the way, on Google is sorry, on Apple phones as well.
Yeah.
So I feel Google already has a baked in distribution. सबके Gmail accounts already हैं. I don't know anybody personally जिसका Gmail account नहीं है. So that's a huge distribution that they can just directly capture. So that's the first thing, right? Like, but again, these are still not hard data points. I want to give some hard data points here. Coming
There's
back.
there's one more I think revenue source which would be contributing a lot, which I personally find very irritating, but as an investor it would be very good. तो गूगल का जो स्टोरेज प्लान्स होते हैं ना, उसके अंदर आफ्टर दैट 200 GB प्लान they have a plan directly which jumps to 2 terabyte. So it's like 10x.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it doesn't make sense to me. Why would someone need like after 200 GB directly a jump to 2 TB? That's
Yeah.
just a pure money grab in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's working for them. Like people are too used to it, especially with Google Photos and stuff, right?
Yeah. I'm thinking of taking the 2 TV plan by the way. But yeah. But because I mean, मेरा honestly, I was doing some projects to be honest, and उसमें ना काफी data अब हो गया है that I want to back up, and I just don't feel safe enough with hard drives.
True.
तो I was thinking कि अगर Gemini लेना ही है तो you get the 2 TB thing. I'm now seeing that as a complementary thing. So yeah. So just want to share my screen and show you guys this. So with Google, yeah, so just want to see कि Google के क्या businesses हैं, right? Let's just first understand this. Let me come back to the meeting actually so that I can see expressions. तो Google का अगर आप देखेंगे, right? The blue is obviously Google search, right? As I said, वो अभी भी major part of उनका revenue है. The second most important thing is YouTube ads. Oh wait, I think YouTube ads और ये same color का हो गया है. At least अभी नीचे आ गया है, so we'll be able to get. So my point being कि so the first biggest thing is obviously Google search. All of us realize that. Second biggest thing is YouTube ads, right? And just want to show you guys कि ये भी काफी तेजी से grow कर रहा है, right? Actually, I think it will be better अगर हम annually देखें इसको.
Yeah.
Right. So now I think better pata chalega, right? You can see YouTube ads has really been scaling up.
Yeah, 22.83% CAGR. It's crazy.
Right. And this is search. आप search का data देखिए. Do you think it's a business that's dying?
No chance.
By any chance, बिल्कुल भी नहीं. कोई नहीं बोल सकता ये data देखकर.
No chance.
Right.
Yeah.
And the next big thing I want to see, yes, Google subscriptions. Exactly the thing that you were talking about, right?
Yeah.
Now there's YouTube subscriptions that people have been opting for, which gives you YouTube music. I think it's the best subscription ever that I've taken. I had to take an extra subscription for their storage space that you mentioned. I think they're folding in their Gemini subscriptions also here. So this business has also been growing like crazy. The next thing is Google Cloud. Yes, I think this is really a thing. Exactly. If you see the CAGR here, this business is growing like crazy.
Almost 40%.
Exactly. और इसमें सिर्फ 3 ही मेजर प्लेयर्स है, राइट? वी नो AWS है, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट का Azure है और गूगल का क्लाउड है, राइट? अगर गूगल और यूट्यूब अगर अलग कंपनीज होती, आई एम श्योर ये दोनों कंपनीज अलग अलग एटलीस्ट वेरी क्लोज टू $1 trillion वैल्यू होता है इनका, because these companies are making insane revenue and they are growing at an insane pace.
Yeah, true.
But वही है, क्योंकि Google is a merged business, we only see that search bar और उसके beyond हमें कुछ दिखता नहीं है. But if you go inside, you will see that this business has a lot of other things. So just to understand that the business is well diversified. So when you're buying Google, you're not just buying their search key. Let's assume a worst case scenario. By the time search gets disrupted, I think Google will build all of these different businesses into big mammoths.
For sure. Looking at the CAGR, we can definitely get that.
Absolutely. So I think based on that, I feel कि diversification already Google में embedded है. The next point that I want to show is, from uh, Google's recent earnings report, I think they reported this week itself, is that they have, again, like Netflix, they have been improving their operating margins insanely. Right? 2022 तक क्या हुआ था? Google was heavily investing in their cloud business for infrastructure, right? Which they are doing right now also for AI, by the way. On the cloud business, their margins, I think, have gone from negative to right now it is 20%. They were negative, I think, 2 years, 3 years ago. So Google is a company that can do things at scale, but they also are able to do it without losing money.
And
They have and fast, and they have done it again and again. Like, for example, I cannot imagine any other company to run YouTube at scale and to do it profitably.
True.
वो सोचो हर दिन 20 million videos upload हो रहे हैं YouTube पे. Right? How do you even figure out the storage and all of these for so many videos? Right?
Insane.
For these companies, मैं जब देखता हूँ कि Figma का इतना बड़ा AWS bill है, I'm like, how are they? और plus वो ad revenue share कर रहे हैं creators के साथ. With all of that, they are still making profit. So I think it's a great team. I think they're a product first team, and they've just done a phenomenal job. And now coming back to AI, I think I don't want to say Google is winning the AI race, but I think for sure they're the second contender right now. In terms of daily active users, I think ChatGPT is still way ahead. But I've been personally, for my work, using Gemini products. I think Gemini is killing it.
Especially in video.
Especially in video. Videos, so I think वहाँ पे तो वो लोग बहुत अच्छा है, but I'm talking about coding as well. I think obviously Claude Code is best, but for our use case, I think we have found Gemini at par. But I can't use ChatGPT's any model. For our use case, at least it's not working, and I've chatted with some other friends as well in the coding background. They all love Claude Code. If not, then they always fall back to Gemini. So that's one. Gemini is gaining market share. Sundar Pichai has been very vocal about the number of tokens that they have been producing has gone up and up and up. Second most important thing is I think Google is going to create an attack vector on AI from all directions. So recently they've released Genie 3. Genie 3 is a 3D simulation, a 3D world rather, that you can create from text. और आप उसमें घूम भी सकते हो, right? It's not just a video kind of thing. So you can also wander around. So it's almost like a 3D game of sorts. So they are attacking this from this vector. We know Veo 3 is already in works. They're attacking the UI UX field with something called a Stitch. It's very similar to what Lovable and these guys do. They already have the chat LLM. They have always been leading the personal assistant space. I think they will launch, they will integrate rather Gemini into Chrome really well. And make it exactly like Comet or maybe better than that. I think Comet is a really good product. But basically, just to come back on the idea that in AI, I think Google is already in the top 3 and they are attacking it from all vectors, which I don't see other companies doing. And they already have a distribution that they can capture into. So based on that, I feel Google is an awesome buy. The most important and last point I want to make is that Google in their last 5 years is the cheapest right now. What do I mean by cheapest? Is that there's something called as the price to earnings ratio. Based on that, Google abhi trade kar raha hai around 18 to 20 pe. Google has always traded around 25, 30 and stuff like that. For example, just to give a reference, Microsoft right now, it is at 35 PE. Right? And Palantir is at 600 PE.
600,
yeah. And Google is trading at a 19 PE right now or 20 PE maybe. So relatively, it's a cheaper stock. So such a great company, you are getting at such a low price. I feel that's why I'm betting big on Google.
I had no idea about this, and I guess like below 20p, it's a huge steal if you buy it.
For a company like Google, absolutely, 100%.
And since you mentioned Palantir, I'll just show a screenshot quickly. Yeah, so Palantir, right?
Yeah.
When I discovered Palantir, I discovered it at less than $7, and I'll just show you guys the price right now. So yeah, this is Palantir. Its price is right how much? $179, almost $180.
179.
$179.
$179. Yeah, that's what I think 25x, 20x. No,
Yeah,
that's not 20. That's 25x.
if I had not sold it. So these were my buys, and फिर मैंने I don't know why. I wish I could go back to that day and not sell Palantir.
Not sell Palantir.
So
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
bought it for like less than $6.50, which is insane when you think about it. I had bought an insanely good company at an insanely good valuation.
Yeah.
But yeah, such fumbles are what make you good investors over long periods of time.
That is true.
मैं अपने आप को ऐसा बोल के सांत्वना देता हूँ.
No, I totally agree. And I think मेरा भी ये, I mean, obviously, I've also missed the Palantir train. Like, I was not able to capture this 25x. But I think, as you said, भैया, कि ये तो मैंने definitely देखा है, और भी लोगों से जिनसे मैंने बात की, almost everybody has regrets.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very important aspect. कि I have never seen a very big investor. आप झुनझुन वाला का अगर आप सुनोगे, he tells you कि इसने कितने स्टॉक्स मिस किए. वॉरेन बफेट, राइट, विल टेल यू स्टोरीज अबाउट थिंग्स जो उसके सामने थी एंड लाइक कि या उसने नहीं लिया फॉर XYZ reasons. Right, so yeah, I think it is what it is. But yeah,
Crazy. So yeah, since अभी बस हम लोग डिस्कस ही कर रहे थे कि like I fumbled a 25x opportunity. तो I'm always on the lookout for more such opportunities. तो मेरे को small cap stocks research करना, invest करना अच्छा लगता है. It works sometimes it doesn't work. But at this moment, क्योंकि AI बहुत nascent stage में है अभी, so I think if we look at some good small caps, we would have a good chance कि those become multi-baggers in the future. तो एक और चीज है कि AI का इतना बूम हो रहा है, so there are these companies like Gemini, मतलब Google with their AI tools, and then other tools like Claude, Anthropic. तो ये सब हमें दिख रहा है, ये हम यूज कर रहे हैं. तो उनका बैकएंड में उनको जो सपोर्ट कर रही हैं कंपनीज बाय लेट्स से प्रोवाइडिंग मतलब डेटा स्टोरेज एंड मैनेजमेंट, साइबर सिक्योरिटी, तो ये सारी चीजें भी आई थिंक दीज कंपनीज शुड आल्सो डू वेरी वेल. जैसे गोल्ड रश में बोलते हैं ना कि पीपल हु आर सेलिंग शवल्स, they actually made much more money than people who actually bought those shovels and went to dig gold.
Yes.
तो मैं थोड़ा सा अभी उस मोड में हूँ और कुछ कंपनीज में रिसर्च भी कर रहा था. तो एक कंपनी है Cipher Mining. What they do is they're developing and operating industrial scale data centers for Bitcoin mining and high performance computing infrastructure including AI and stuff. तो बेसिकली आपको बहुत हाई कंप्यूटिंग चाहिए जहाँ पे इंडस्ट्रियल ग्रेड में. तो these people they would develop it for you and they would also operate if you want them to operate. तो इसमें there are two plays in a way. तो एक हो गया कि AI इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के लिए सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं AI कंपनीज को. सेकंड हो गया, this is a very interesting concept and I've discussed with Sumeet also. So there's something called public crypto vehicles. तो ये क्या होता है कि what companies do, suppose उनके पास बहुत सारा बैलेंस है और उनको पता है कि डॉलर की वैल्यू या रुपये की वैल्यू ओवर टाइम डिप्रिशिएट हो रही है. तो they try to invest it somewhere. So generally they try to invest it in safer assets. लेकिन अभी बहुत सारी कंपनीज, बिगेस्ट एग्जांपल बीइंग MicroStrategy and even Tesla, so they have invested that spare cash into Bitcoin. Some have even done that, invested it into Ethereum and Solana, which are other cryptocurrencies. But yeah, like Cipher Mining also holds like more than 1,000 Bitcoins. Wow. So along with an AI infrastructure play, it is also a public crypto vehicles play. So when you take examples of companies like MicroStrategy, right? So in the time since they started buying Bitcoin to now, when they are the largest holders of Bitcoin by far, so what has happened is that company has given much more returns than if you had bought Bitcoin and held it at that moment.
Yeah, it's like a 3x levered call on
Yeah,
Bitcoin.
kind of, sort of, yeah. So that's crazy. So this company Cipher Mining is kind of doing both the things. So
Right.
and it's at less than $2 billion market cap, so it's a small cap.
Right. I want to know more about the business भैया एक बार थोड़ा डिटेल में बताइए like what do they exactly sell जिससे उनको revenue आता है? Understood the hypothesis on the 1,000 Bitcoin that they hold.
Yeah. So that one is basically data centers. It's
Okay.
sort of a service, but obviously when they are developing data centers, so most companies, what they will do is if they're asking some company to create data centers for them, they would also give them the contract for maintaining and running them. And these data centers require like a lot of energy. So they have recently partnered with a clean energy company as well.
Okay.
Like a huge contract. So this is a third thing which, it's like a third narrative you can say. कि वो clean energy में भी in a way they are related to clean energy as well.
So they are not only developing data centers, but they are also supplying energy to other data centers which are looking for clean sources of energy.
Not exactly. For the like all the data centers which they would be operating, they would be supplying this clean energy through their partners.
Okay, understood.
Yeah. So
got it.
I'll show you this thing. Yeah. So basically, their revenues are increasing, but their expenses are also increasing recently. I'll show you.
आपका screen नहीं दिख रहा है अगर आप screen share कर रहे हो.
Yeah, I'll share the screen. Yeah. So I've just opened this for now. So yeah, Cipher Mining, it's at around $5 price right now. And what I've done is I've just opened this chart. तो इसमें क्या है total assets and total liabilities I'll show like very basic stuff for now. Since it's a small cap stock, I would suggest anyone who is looking at this to research more in depth on their own. यहाँ पे क्या है, if you notice their total assets, they're increasing like in a crazy way. Like the CAGR is like 683%.
Wow. Unheard.
Yeah, but similarly their liabilities are also increasing, which is like 427%. But like since this is a small cap company, what I get it is that they're in the growth stage, so they're kind of burning cash and they're not profitable right now.
Right. Can I just see the revenue? एक बार बाकी सब off कर सकते हो आप? Can I just see the revenue?
Yeah, I'll switch on the revenue.
Okay. Not bad. Are they profitable?
No, they are not profitable right now. So
okay.
Yeah.
Is the hypothesis
this is their income?
Is the hypothesis that through operations, or I don't know, but are they going to be profitable? Basically, just say Uber abhi recently, turned profitable in the last 3 years and so.
Yeah, looking at their revenue and looking at their assets and also the Bitcoin play, again, it's a big chance since it's a small cap company. I would like to take a bet on this क्योंकि इसमें बहुत सारे factors हैं. Like I'll show you this also. There's another website which we use, so Simply Wall Street. So revenue is forecast to grow at around 44% per year.
Wow.
And in this space, which is AI and tech. So I think, analysts are saying that this stock should rise by around 41%. Again, it's a small cap stock, so it's very risky and its price has been volatile in the past few months since I've started tracking it. So please, due diligence is very much necessary before you decide to jump into this.
Are you invested in Cipher?
I was invested till some time ago, but recently the overall market sentiment did not seem right to me.
Right.
again, it was another fumble from my side, but the market just kept going up. I'll actually show you a simple charting as well. So, like, there's this indicator called the accurate swing trading system. It works kind of well when, the market is going in a specific direction, if it's going up or down. So
Right.
I just use this to kind of get a sense of the direction in the market. And if not this, then Heikinashi candles. So this is TradingView app for those who might not know. So this is the most widely used app to see charts and do technical analysis. So this is the chart for S&P 500 one-day chart. So I can also figure out from these kind of candles that okay, the market is kind of going up. It tried going down, but again, I think the investor sentiment is extremely bullish right now. So yeah, this
When
is
Trump tweets,
yeah,
things start falling.
or going up. Look
Yeah,
at
or
this,
going up. Yeah.
this gap up which will happen today. This is pre-market, so yeah, it's still bullish.
Oh, gap up reminds me, bhaiya,
Yeah.
कि last 2 days have been amazing for me.
Okay.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I'm invested in Shopify. So
Yeah,
Shopify
yeah.
reported their earnings yesterday.
Yeah. I saw that jump.
22% in a day. 22% in a day. And I want to just tell people यहाँ पे कि I got into Shopify because I also run a e-commerce service business. And मैं देख रहा हूँ ground पे कि almost every merchant that we make shops for is मतलब मेरे लिए तो 100% है. Everybody uses Shopify. Everybody. And I see in the world of AI, मुझे लग रहा है कि a lot of people want to take attempt at entrepreneurship. And I think उसमें ना एक entrepreneurship का play भी हो सकता है कि what are the tools that enable entrepreneurs. और जो listed companies है वहाँ पे, I think वो बहुत बड़ा वहाँ पे एक aspect आ रहा है. और Shopify, I assume it's some sort of a monopoly, right? And it's not a competitor to Amazon. I think वो गलत तरीका है सोचने का. Right? Amazon is a completely different play. Shopify is a completely different play. But that was one big win. The second big win was Duolingo.
Okay.
So Duolingo, I have not discussed with you and wanted to save it up for
Yeah,
this
I
podcast.
saw on your screen. I think you were using it as well. कॉल से पहले शायद.
So I had bought Duolingo the last week. थोड़ा थोड़ा करके I was buying it. And they reported earnings yesterday night. Today they should gap up with I think about 15% up.
Great.
Or yeah.
Yes.
So lucky 2 days.
Let me see.
But yeah. Duolingo का pre-market देखो.
342 to 433. It's like
Yeah.
probably 30% or something, man. It's insane.
Yeah. मेरे लिए 30% नहीं है. मेरा थोड़ा एवरेज ऊपर है. तो आई थिंक मेरे लिए कुछ ऐसा होगा. बट ये अमेजिंग. सो बोथ ऑफ दीज कंपनीज, राइट, लाइक डुओलिंगो स्पेशली, राइट, बाद में उसका डीप डाइव किसी और पॉडकास्ट में करेंगे. बट जस्ट वांटेड टू पुट इट आउट देयर कि डुओलिंगो कंपनी जिसने ना अपना यू टर्न कर लिया बिल्कुल, राइट. दे हैव रिसेंटली टर्न्ड प्रॉफिटेबल. दे हैव डन सम प्रॉफिटेबल क्वार्टर्स अगेन एंड अगेन. जैसे आपको उबर का स्टोरी पता होगा, राइट. उबर वाज नॉन प्रॉफिटेबल फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम, फिर प्रॉफिटेबल आफ्टर. आई थिंक दे हैव डन नाउ क्वाइट, मुझे याद नहीं है, बट काफी सारे क्वार्टर्स उन्होंने प्रॉफिटेबल निकाले. अब तो इट्स अ कैश चर्निंग मशीन. आई फील विथ सॉफ्टवेयर कंपनीज लाइक शॉपिफाई एंड डुओलिंगो, आई थिंक दे हैव अ ह्यूज लेवरेज कि एक बार अगर आपका बेस बन गया है, then based on marketing, and you can really just scale up a software business like anything. What Google and Microsoft have done, I think in their niches, these guys really own the market. There is no competitor to Shopify.
sure.
There is almost no competitor to Duolingo. When I think of a language learning app, I don't think anything else. मुझे पता भी नहीं है. And they are not only improving vertically, but they are moving horizontally as well. They have introduced chess, by the way. I'm not interested in chess, but chess का course अब उसमें added है, and they've added maths now, so they are just growing it. But yeah, I'll save the information for some other year. So yeah, just happy.
There are so many times I've actually searched on Duolingo, have they added support for Indian languages? Because I want a good system to learn the language which is the mother tongue of my wife. She's a Malayali, so I want to learn Malayalam using Duolingo. But yeah, maybe soon with this growing revenue. Hopefully. Yeah, so it's amazing the kind of returns that these companies have shown. So I'll quickly cover another company which is in the similar domain. It's called Innodata, or they also kind of provide data solutions and services, but they're focusing it on as they want to help businesses leverage AI. So they want to leverage AI and provide data solutions and services to companies. So think of it as an AI ML services play, and also providing a secure infrastructure to companies through their partners. And it's how do I say, it's like a tech plus AI ML kind of play. And again, they're less than $1.5 billion in market cap, and their earnings grew by like 1,300% over the last year. Yeah, their revenue is forecasted to grow at around 15%, but yeah, last year was insane for them. So again, it's a small cap, like much less than 2 billion, and it's very volatile, risky. So should do your due diligence. I'll quickly share my screen and show some figures as well. Yeah, so $43 stock. First of all, their assets and liabilities are very similar color. So yeah, the lighter blue is the assets. So assets have been increasing. They do not hold any crypto, but yeah. And their liabilities have been going up and down. That's fine, but the speed with which their assets are growing gives me some confidence that okay, they're in the right space, and with this kind of growth, they might become multi-baggers in the future. Coming to their annual revenues and net income. So their net
they've
income
recently turned profitable now.
Yeah, like
nice.
roughly. So they've turned profitable, and their revenues have been going up pretty well recently. So CAGR of 16%. So yeah.
Their year-on-year, I think, growth for profit is also amazing. I think that's almost about 30%, I think.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
I think I'll check on Simply Wall Street. So yeah, this is...
इसका P ratio कितना है? Innodata का?
I'll just check it.
उसी पे check कर सकते हैं. Oh yeah, or you have this.
Yeah.
Okay, 34, not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not cheap also, but...
I mean, given the hype around AI and tech stocks right now, I think this is kind of cheap.
And
that also tells you that how undervalued Google is right now. Below 20. It's insane.
Yes. 20.
These are just some stocks that I'm, researching on a site.
Oh, nice.
And I'll share this list with you, Sumit. And this is kind of the way I kind of structure my portfolio generally. Like there are some large caps and mega caps as well, but I want to have some smaller bets in mid cap and small caps as well.
Right.
And I believe these sectors like tech or AI, semiconductors, this sector would be like the biggest play for the next few years, at least the next 5 years. Then Bitcoin and crypto, especially because of Trump, I think all these public crypto vehicles, maybe not all, but like some of these public crypto vehicles will do well. These are some of those which I'm researching on. And then obviously defense and energy, like clean energy.
Right. Oklo is something that I was also looking into. I think I saw it in Akshat Prasad video. He covered Oklo. My only, and I think the stock has had a amazing run up. My only thing that I wanted to also discuss and ask you is with companies like Oklo. Like for example, Palantir जैसी company was able to see such a huge growth, a 20x growth. Also because the time to deliver the service and to get the money in is not if you remember, initially Palantir के लिए वो एक बहुत बड़ा pain point था, right? Like,
Yeah.
the project will get executed over 6 months,
Yeah.
and then the money will come. So it's just projected revenue till then and all that blah blah, right?
Yeah.
And I think they have cut down the time drastically on that. But I feel those things are still true for these energy companies. So I'm not still able to wrap my head around ki, there's a lot that can go wrong in
For
the
sure.
middle.
For sure.
So what's the right way to evaluate these companies, right? Because obviously, like, I think ki Oklo develops nuclear power plants,
Yeah.
not power plants,
Nuclear.
but nuclear energy sources for individual data centers and stuff like that. But obviously, because of the thing that they are doing is so difficult, it's not like writing a bunch of code. The time is big, and since the time to deliver that value is so big, how scalable that service is the only biggest point that holds me back.
Yeah. What I would do to approach such stocks is basically, one is see their price action. If it looks interesting, only then I would get into such companies. Oklo's was looking good. That's why I'm
Right.
kind of researching it. It came to my view.
Right.
What I would say is, first of all, I kind of like to use AI to, research some of my stocks. So I use this AI. It's called Warren AI. It's by investing.com. I saw a small thesis and I got an investment score of 93. So that kind of told me that, okay, there's something that is good going on with this company. We could discuss more details in some future video. But yeah, like, I would keep a close eye on the price of such companies.
Right.
I actually have some alerts, put up for some companies that I watch at. So
Right.
you can basically detect any like sudden movements and probably get out of such companies. If you sense something going wrong, or if you see something wrong on the chart, you will get an alert. Then you can see that, okay, if fundamentally something drastically has changed, or something in the news has come up that because of which the stock started falling, or let's say going up. So yeah, that is one thing which comes with investing in smaller companies, that news can make them move like crazy. In a single
Right.
day, you saw
That's true.
Duolingo like 30% up in pre-market. That's insane, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, goes both ways. If that those
News is
numbers,
negative, then
then it would have been
that is
horror
true.
show.
That is true. I am right now pivoting at मेरा investing hypothesis, majorly दो major points है भैया. पहला ये है कि what are some really good companies that are undervalued right now, which in this space I feel Google, Netflix is, I wouldn't say it's undervalued at all, but I feel it can grow really well and beat market expectations. So कौन सी अच्छी कंपनीज है जो अंडरवैल्यूड है जिनको ले सकते हैं. दूसरा इज कि कौन सी ऐसी कंपनीज है जो अपने नीश मार्केट में उनका बहुत अच्छा मार्केट शेयर है, and they have recently turned profitable, because I have taken that ride with Uber, and hence I now understand as an investor that suddenly एक स्टॉक का गेम पलट सकता है, राइट. वो हो सकता है बहुत टाइम तक बेयर मार्केट में हो, जब आप उसका सिर्फ चार्ट खोल के देखोगे इट विल नॉट डू जस्ट लाइक यार ये तो डेड स्टॉक है, राइट. बट मोस्टली दैट J curve happens when a non-profitable company turns into a profitable company. बट सिर्फ ये कंडीशन मीट नहीं होना चाहिए. सेकंड कंडीशन है कि अपने मार्केट में इट शुड हैव अ गुड मार्केट शेयर, एंड वो दिखना चाहिए कि यार वो मार्केट इटसेल्फ विल बिकम बिगर, which is the hypothesis, or was the hypothesis with Shopify also. It was unprofitable for the longest time and it turned profitable, and they have been, Uber did that. Think about some other companies which we'll discuss in other podcasts. So kind of thinking on the investing in these two phases.
Yeah, if you match the narrative as well, like hot narratives, so like insane.
Yeah.
Nice.
But awesome. Yeah.
So I think we'll just quickly. Should we cover some news which came out recently?
Yeah, I just wanted to cover two big things. So basically, one is that I think that will be relevant is that Robinhood, one of the other stocks that I'm invested in, and I'll do a deep dive in Robinhood on some other podcast. But Robinhood has launched something called as tokenized assets, and I think this is going to be a big thing coming up. Tokenized assets, just for people who don't know what it is. Uh, Assume it's the ability to buy stocks that are also not public right now.
Yeah.
Right? So, for example, what Robinhood is doing is that in Europe, like for example, if somebody lives in Europe, you can sign up on Robinhood and you can buy OpenAI ka stock. You can buy SpaceX ka stock. For people who don't know, these are the two most sought after companies in the private market. Right? Like who doesn't want a stock of OpenAI? Everybody wants that. And they're able to do this because they own some part of their stocks. And जब आप खरीद रहे हो तो आपको उसका stock नहीं मिल रहा है. You're getting a token that's 1:1 attached with the original price. So it'll kind of track the price. तो आपको stock नहीं मिल रहा है. But I think at least retail investors हम और आप जैसे investors के लिए at least कुछ तो medium है कि हम इसमें भी participate कर पाए. Right? So I think that's a huge news. It's not a recent news though, but I think it's been about 3 weeks or 2 weeks. But I thought, just wanted to share it with people. And second, I think all of us are already seeing, and I think this week there have been plethora of AI launches. Google has come up with Genie 3, which I already discussed, the 3D thing that they've launched. News is that they're going to launch Gemini 3 very soon. Which is at 2.5 Pro right now. I think 3 is going to come very soon. GPT-5 apparently is going to launch today when we are recording. Tonight.
Okay.
So let's see. I mean, that's rumor, or if it is something else, then it will be a big letdown. But people are saying it will be GPT-5. And every time I decide to cancel my GPT subscription, these days launch a new model. So I have to keep it for another month. So that's that, and I think that's some of the top news from my side.
They're also launching. They just launched actually yesterday, I think, a free-to-use model. So
open source model, yes.
Yeah, open source model. So you can basically download it to your system, but you'll need like a huge system for that with very high specs. But you can actually think of it as a service. You get a high configuration system. You run the service on it, and maybe you can share it with others at like $5 a month. You could make a service out of it.
Yes.
So things like this would definitely come up more and more as we venture more into AI.
Absolutely.
Then Microsoft also developed a cyber security AI agent.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like another sector which is at risk. So it identifies malware very easily apparently. So I have a friend, a relative of mine actually, who is a cyber security expert. So I should definitely get his views on this.
Oh shit! Is it a threat to companies like CrowdStrike? I'm invested in CrowdStrike.
I'm not sure. I need to look
पहले बता देना.
into it.
पहले बता देना भाई ऐसा नहीं.
I didn't get a chance to look deeper into it, but I thought we should definitely cover that.
Right.
So I think more or less we have covered mostly what we.
I think we have. Yeah,
I'll just close this with like a couple of fun things. So one is I wanted to show US equity has outpaced all other assets over the long term.
Oh wow!
So like again cements the idea that might be a better idea to invest in the US.
Right. I feel even though I think the chart will look even more different if we just consider some of the top companies, right? Like S&P 500 is the top 500 companies of US, right? But in this podcast, I think we are going to talk about some of the top companies who are doing really well in their sectors.
For sure.
Right? And I think बहुत time तक हम लोगों को बोला गया है कि mutual funds में पैसे डालो and stock picking is not for people, and I think that's true for options trading. I still don't promote that. I think most people lose money there, but I think stock picking should definitely be taught to people. And I think you should definitely put money in stocks.
Yeah,
But I
for
think
sure.
the problem that I think me and both Rohit Bhaiya have done this mistake is don't try to get rich quick schemes, right? कि मैं इसमें डालूंगा और मेरा पैसा 20 गुना हो जाएगा इतने कम समय में.
Yeah.
हो सकता है एक बार हो जाए, but because वो एक बार होगा आप दोबारा वो पैसे लगाओगे and then it will probably not happen. We have done that mistake. So the better way to do is take short bets, or maybe diversify enough. Yeah, but definitely do stock picking is what I want to say, right? Like F mutual funds. Like my money is in mutual funds only to do ATC. Uske alawa, there's not a single penny that goes in mutual funds.
Nice. That's true. That's true. For sure. Like even if you take like FANG stocks, right?
Yeah,
You'll end up doing better than S&P.
absolutely. And then you'll do better than almost all mutual funds, and then you'll
True.
do better than a lot of markets as well. So
Yeah,
absolutely.
globally. Yeah. That was great first episode. Yeah. See you later.
Yes. Happy to do it, Bea. See you later.
See you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.